Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to be doing a quick demonstration of the GM Dynamic Tradingview Indicator and just running over the basic settings and features and how it all works. So basically what's contained in the indicator is it's a package of a few other indicators, starting with the dynamic entry signals. And what they do is basically they place red or green triangles telling you where to go long and where to go short. It has a dynamic exit indicator, which can also be used as a trailing stop loss. It's based on the parabolic SAR indicator. And you can adjust whether you want line or dot, basic things. And there's also the GM moving average, which I've developed myself. It's designed to catch the big swings in the market, the longer term trends, etc. And then there's an indicator that visually shows you on the chart where you should place your stop loss based on the volatility. So let's take a quick look. What I've got here is the chart of Bitcoin in US dollars. And you can see these little triangles appearing here telling you where to go long and where to go short. You can adjust the setting on those. So let's say I put this on 2 for instance. You'll notice that you'll get the signals a lot sooner, but you might get more false signals based on the volatility. If you increase that number, you're less likely to get false signals. As you can see, it might be a bit later, so it's sort of smoothing it out. Let's just keep that on 3 for now. You can adjust the size, basic setting, how big you want them. That might not look like much of a difference between big and auto. However, big is a fixed size, whereas auto will automatically zoom in and out and shrink as you shrink the chart, so it'll grow with the chart. So I like to keep it on auto. It's less visual noise when you zoom out, but I digress. Moving on to the next setting, the dynamic exit indicator, which can also be used as a trailing stop loss based on the parabolic SAR. So let's switch that on and see what that looks like. You can see these dots appear below and above, telling you when you're in a trend. They can be used as a trend indicator, but I find that they're a bit too slow. So for instance, you'll be getting in on a short all the way down here. However, they do work quite well as an exit indicator. So for instance, if I was to enter a short here and ride this all the way down, it's at this point here we can see that we bust through these dots, so that's where we're closing the short. So basically from there to there you're shorting. You've got a long entry here, you'll be longing all the way to there. So it's basically when the candle bursts the bubble and switches sides, that's your indicator to get out of your position. Moving on to the next setting is the GM moving average. And I'll just turn off the exit indicator. By the way, you can adjust the visual style of the exit indicator, so it's a bit more obvious when you cross through it. Now, as for the GM moving average, it's a special kind of moving average that's designed to catch trends. Now I've just put on here an EMA, and no matter what you do with this EMA, you're not going to get that line to fit. The GM MA is not an EMA, it's not an SMA, it's none of the above. It's something completely different. So as you can see, you can't get the line to fit. It's a different type of moving average. And it also has this cool feature of changing colors based on the trend. That's not important. What it's designed to do is catch these big moves. So for instance, if you're shorting from here to here, It's a 41% profit. You're in the trade for 35 days. Yeah, it's a pretty big move. That's a 20-day trade. This one here, you're in a position for 36 days. This one here, you're in the trade for 26 days. So it's catching those big momentum moves. Now you can adjust the setting, how fast, how slow you want it, depending on what you're trading. You know, for instance, the volatility of the market. So for stocks, you probably slow it down a bit. But anyway, that's what it's designed to do, to catch the big plays. Turning that off. The next setting is the ATR based stop loss guide. So it's just telling you where to place your stops. Now you don't need to pay attention to all the lines. It's basically just the candle that you're entering from. So if we're going to enter a trade here, it's currently set to short. The way you would do it is on the close of the candle, we'll take our short and line it up with that line there, and our take profit will line up with the green line. Now you can adjust the settings, obviously. The multiplier 1 means 1 times whatever the ATR is. So if, for instance, I'll change that setting to 1.5, I want a looser stop, you can see the lines move further apart. Or I want a tighter stop, I'll put it to 0.5. Then there's a risk to reward ratio. You can adjust that as well. Obviously, you can do a 1-to-1, and you'll see our take profit will go closer in. Put a 5-to-1, you see our take profit is further apart. And you can adjust the direction, so long or short. So in this case, I switched it to long. Enter on the close. Level it out with the last setting there. And there, you can see that's a 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio, which matches our settings for. Alright, so I've rewinded the clock back to November 4th according to this. Let's take a look at what we could have achieved if we had this indicator. So I've made up some basic rules here. To enter a trade, well, I want to see a dynamic long or short signal, so one of these little triangles. Then I want to see it break across the GM moving average. So let's turn on the GM moving average. Alright, so you would go along there, and for instance you would go short there on that one. It's broken through. We've closed the full candle below. Let's just turn on the stop loss guide. We're going short, and we'll get our tool here. I'll just leave this on default settings. Whatever it was set to, doesn't matter. It's just the demonstration. And then you turn off your indicator. Now you might have a couple of positions open. So one will have a take profit, and the next one you just let it ride. But anyway, that's up to you how you do your risk management. Let's just run it through. Alright, so what we can see here, we've won our first trade. The second one, as I said, doesn't have a take profit. Move your stop loss down. Turn on your stop loss indicator. Let's just thin out that line. I'll leave it thicker so you can see it on YouTube better. So basically we'll keep this short position open until we cross the exit indicator. In fact, I'll turn off the moving average. And we're just holding this short position open until we cross. There it is. And now we exit the short. Good trade. So that's it. That's the GM Dynamic Indicator. Thanks for watching.